Hi, my name's Shane and welcome to my channel.
Yeah, this is the start of the vlog. This is the vlog.
Today we're at some chicken place. Gonna have some chicken. It's not fried chicken. It's Portuguese chicken. And they're very thirsty chickens because it's hot in Portugal.
This will be the best vlog edition ever, courtesy of Shane. Well, we are already on to the next vlog because we are going to Sydney Motorsport Park. So yeah, we're racing at round 1 of the Summer Night Series at Sydney Motorsport Park with thanks to Blue Marlin Pools East for supporting this round of testing for us, which is very, very cool. Yeah, so it's my very first time racing the R7 under lights and Sydney Motorsport Park, which is very cool. It's another GP style circuit, so not that there's very many GP style circuits in Australia, but it's cool to add another one onto the list, something a little bit more similar, I guess a little bit more similar to like a European style circuit, which is very cool. Sydney Motorsport Park is very, very different than Phillip Island, a lot more technical, similar to what European tracks are, because we're racing under lights as well. Oof, I better not forget clear visors. Something I do not have enough of, but that's okay. This room is an utter mess, but this is like our junk room when we rented the house out and we just haven't done anything with it. I don't even know, do you run a clear visor when you ride at night, or do you run a mid-tint? There you go, that's an actual prepped clear visor. Considering how many times we pack a van, you would think I'm better at it. A little bit of a different packing situation this time. What do you think of the trailer, Dov? Hey? You want this hanging up, or...?
Nah, just put it on top of your gear bag.
I need more knee sliders.
We've been living in sin so long, all the fields are gone. Fella stopped me on the street last night, said everything's alright.
How's the drive with no aircon?
Brilliant. It's only it's down to 36 degrees now.
I can't even see that. Yeah.
Nice, cool 36.
Yep. Probably can't even hear me actually talking, but the aircon broke about an hour ago and it's 37 degrees. And we are still wet.
Let's go. All sing your highline with the
Tyres have run. They got lost in the freight and we thought that we were going to be rocking up to Sydney with no tyres, but they literally just showed up at the 11th hour. So
An AU Falcon.
literally in the back of an AU Falcon.
There you go, mate. There they are. Fantastic. Perfect. All right, gentlemen, have a...
Like it was not a delivery truck, but anyway, we got them. That's all that matters. It's not exactly been the smoothest trip, let's just say. We've got an issue with our van at the moment. We don't know if it's like a gearbox issue or what's the other issue you think the van is? A transmission?
gearbox.
Just the gearbox?
Yeah, like a gear bearing or...
Something. Either way.
wasn't willing to drive it.
Yeah, so we ended up making a very, very funny noise. So then we had to borrow Ted's parents' car, and then on the way to Warral, on the way to Warrowly, to go to Alpine Performance Centre / S1000K Racing, the aircon got busted in the car, so we didn't have aircon for the last hour and a half. And then all the while, these tyres went missing in the freight. Let's hope that's all of our bad luck done.
So yeah, we come out here to Alpine Performance Centre. A couple of weeks ago we were at Phillip Island and Taylor's R7, for whatever reason, was down on top speed compared to another R7 of the same spec. So yeah, we'll come here to Alpine Performance Centre. We're going to chuck it on the dyno and just see where it's at. Not really like looking for performance, but just to make sure that, you know, it's not way off, and that's why we're losing so much top end speed. Chuck it on the dyno now and see what we come up with.
We've been living in sin so long, all the feels are gone. Fella stopped me on the street last night, said everything's alright. Roller coaster, making through the day upright. It seems your meal ticket is gone, but life goes on. I could never.
Yeah, you're on the wall.
Have you made the wall, Taylor?
No, but I haven't given him a frame yet. Well, we think we found a little bit of the issue, not a massive chunk of the issue, that was actually losing us around 2 horsepower that it shows on the dyno. And Shane did a diagnostics little test on it, got rid of the fault code that was on the dash, oops. And then, yeah, we ran it again on the dyno and it was 2 horsepower faster. You could see in the actual like graph map how much it was losing between 6.5 to 8.5. There was actually a massive dip in power then, so I guess we can take that one as a positive. Off to a very, very good start to get to Sydney. The bloody aircon on this car. This is the second time it's fallen off now in the time space of like a literal 5-minute drive. Fun.
We've got a total of 10 minutes down the road. Car shit itself. Cops pulled us up.
Yes. Hello. I am stuck on the side of the road by the corner just before you come into Everton with the highway patrol.
So for the 2025 WorldWCR race season, I put up a little thing on my Instagram story saying that I would really like to work with a nutritionist. So a little bit of a backstory about me. I have Crohn's disease as well as celiac disease. So I did take a little break in racing for around 5 or so years, and that was actually due to being so incredibly sick with undiagnosed Crohn's. Like, I'm not a nutritionist. I don't really know what I'm supposed to be eating, and I kind of just wing it day by day. So at the start of the year, I started working with the beautiful Emma from Simpler Health, and can I just say it has been life-changing. So I work with Emma daily on a diet plan that both suits my Crohn's disease, my celiac disease, and as well being just a high-performance athlete. And since I've been working with Emma for the last 3 months, honestly, I have seen such a massive shift in everything that I have done. I am fittest that I've ever been. I'm the strongest that I've ever been in my racing career, and we actually do like specific race plan diets as well. So this is me shopping for my race plan for Sydney. So obviously, because I have Crohn's disease and celiac disease, there are a lot of things that I can't eat. So this is just, I guess, a guide as to the things that I eat as a high performance athlete with a lot of chronic health conditions. So obviously this would be very different for other races. But yeah, this has been just absolutely game changing, and I wanted to give this a little bit of a shameless plug as to what I've been doing with my nutrition over the last 3 months.
Oh my god. Oh my fucking god.
Where the spotters are going out.
A new addition to this weekend, the brake pressure sensor kit, which has been a really, really cool little addition to our data and whole learning process for this weekend, finding out a lot of things, which is really cool. Obviously we invest a lot of money into the data and all that kind of stuff, so more so to actually provide like consistency and knowledge with our own riding, and of course how I can be a better rider as well. Obviously we don't have brake pressure sensors on our WorldWCR spec bikes, but yeah, obviously it's just something so that I can learn on it here in Australia and know what I'm actually doing with the brake and how I can improve, so that when we get over to WorldWCR, my braking is spot on.
It was forward, yeah. Straight out of me now, way.
Right, what's that say, Ted?
I've heard of it. Put on in Europe. Is this the same one they've got? A fish store. There you go. It's all about the beer. Get it out, Ted. Yeah, oh, beer in your beer.
I'm pretending. Just pretending not to do it. Yeah, here in the daylight.
What are you doing here?
Cleaning the shaft.
No.
That was funny.
That's hilarious.
Just putting a lighter spring in for the lovely conditions that we've got today.
It's on the buses.
No, it was me, Ted.
Sorry,
She's taking on too bloody hard. But you actually, but if you look here, you can already carry all the... So you already...
Well, that's a bit shit. Our last race just got cancelled because they were running out of time. It's currently 10:30, well past my bedtime. So yeah, unfortunately we only got one qualifying and 2 races tonight. But yeah, overall pretty happy with how we went. We dropped off like 4 seconds from my qualifying lap time to my race 2 lap time, and we also got a new R7 lap record, which is pretty cool as well. Yeah, a lot of you guys all said you wanted to see like bike setup and everything like that, but in all honesty, when you're running a WorldWCR spec bike, you have stock standard suspension, so you can't really do all that much setup. We usually do make a lot more changes than what we did today. We have made the bike a lot softer than what it normally is, because I often don't like the bike moving underneath me, and we were kind of making the wrong steps, I guess you could say. This weekend, we're making the bike a little bit softer, and I'm getting a little bit more confident with the bike moving underneath me and knowing what's a good movement and what's a bad movement. Yeah, as silly as this sounds, we're actually focusing on body positioning tonight. That made a massive difference. So I was actually carrying too much lean angle through the corner, and then that was creating a lot of issues, instead of actually getting my body off the bike more and trying to actually stand the bike up and get it on the fatter part of the tyre. So I was just asking way too much of the bike with the stock standard suspension that we have. Obviously I can't get off the bike as much as what normal people do because I'm only 5'1", and I don't have a lot of weight behind me either, so it is a little bit hard to get my body weight off the side of the bike. But overall, we knocked off about 4 seconds, and someone said as well I've got the new R7 lap record around here, which is pretty cool. So yeah, really disappointed that that last race got cancelled. We put a new set of brake pads in it because the brakes were starting to fade towards the last 2 laps. So yeah, next race was going to be a goodie, but at the end of the day, sometimes just things like that happen. It's supposed to be raining tomorrow, which I love the wet, but when you're testing and you're here to do fast laps, the wet is not what we want. I want a wet race in WorldWCR, not while we're testing. I'm going to pack everything up, get everything out of the garage, and then do it all again tomorrow morning. So bring on night 2.
Just a different kind of practice.
Yeah, like we can still work
Still
on
practicing race starts and body position and still doing all the same shit.
And again, if it does rain in it, it's good practice for that. Because it's good race, if it does and I do a race in the wet, it's good race practice in the wet as well. But then I've got nothing to be scared about. I know you can't actually see it in this, but It is raining. So it is currently, looks like it's going to be raining all night. So yeah, for sure it's going to be, I think, wet for our first qualifying session. So Ted and Shane are just putting in a lighter spring in the rear and just softening off the suspension a little bit more, because obviously when it's wet you need a little bit of a softer setup than what you normally run. And then I think he said he'll do a little bit of a, maybe take some oil out in the front, make it a little bit softer. It's good practice anyway for Assen, because everyone said that Assen's going to be most likely wet. So some good racing practice if it does rain all night tonight. But yeah, Ted and Shane are going to have their work cut out for them tonight, I think.
Since you made that change, when I checked the boost, it's a lot more than travel.
That's not average is still not right. Average is still too hard.
We've been living in sin so long, all the feels are gone. Fella stopped me on the street last night, said everything's alright. Roller coaster, make it through the day upright. It seems your meal ticket is gone, but life goes on. I could never imagine something better.
Well, we've all finished up here in Sydney Motorsport Park, and I'm going to be real here, I didn't really video all that much today because the weather was absolutely horrendous. Tonight's racing actually ended up getting cancelled just because it was torrential rain, there was lightning, there was thunder, there was everything. But yeah, overall it was a really successful weekend. I even came home with second place and a $750 Moto National gift card as well. So the championship was so cool to race in this weekend. I've always wanted to come do a summer night series. We obviously had the support from Shane Kinderis, who is a very knowledgeable man in motorsport. Sometimes it's good working with other people because they pick up on different things. I've got some really good people in my corner to help me with WorldWCR, and although we only got 2 races both nights, yeah, other than that, it was a really good weekend, and we'll see you on the next one.
How was the chicken, Tyler?
The chicken was thirsty.
Debrief of the chicken. Here's somebody ordered more than she needed.
Yeah, but I got me protein in, that's
That's
all
it.
that
As long
matters.
as it's your protein.
Yeah. Peace out.